time to be able to, I did not turn this, it is on, to speak with everyone. This is going to be a little different. This is a lot more personal. And this is about a personal journey with prayer with me. I was inspired by Bruce, who told his story, and I started thinking about it, and I started writing this down probably a week after he stood up here and told his. Mine isn't really a story of mine finding God, but it is, but it's how I found him through my prayer and my prayer journey. I always felt it was important to stay current with what's going on in the world and be involved, and we get involved in so many things and do so many things. It can consume us, cause us to become distracted. Sometimes we need to turn our eyes away from that and focus on the Lord. The same thing is true about going through difficult times. We lose focus on what is important and then lose our focus on the Lord as well. Sometimes people blame the Lord for the problems. If the pandemic has given me anything positive, it was the gift of time. And to me, that was the most precious gift I have gotten. We learned to slow down things, take long walks, enjoy sunrises and sunsets, new growth, flowers, all of God's beauty that has been there that maybe we just didn't take time to notice. And most importantly, faith, family, and friends. This is my personal journey in my prayer discovery. Before COVID, I too was caught up in the world, was not really focused on the Lord as much as I should have. I would listen to Star 99 in the car, and I would go to the gym, and I had all my praise songs on my iPod, and I would listen to the songs, and it was really a great time when I worked out, and I enjoyed it, and I really got immersed in it. Walked out the door, back into the world of everything that's going on, and I pretty much forgot those, and the world kept creeping back in. Did I talk with the Lord? Probably not much. Did I truly reach out and invite him in? Probably not. I think I was skating on the level there where I was doing just probably what I had to do. Then one Sunday, Pastor Rick said something that inspired me to do better with my conversations with the Lord. And if I'm being honest, I really needed to have conversations with the Lord. I did little snippets throughout the day, but I still didn't feel that connected. When COVID hit, there was no gym to go to. I started walking. Lynn and I, we walked 3 or 4 times a day. Then Lynn got COVID and stopped walking. So I decided to concentrate on that time to connect with God. A friend of mine, whose letter I'll read a little bit later on, always talked about her prayer walk, and that's when she spoke with God. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. At first, I would talk, but thoughts of the day would crowd in. I probably didn't get 3 feet around the reservoir, and I was already thinking about what I had to do, where I had to go, and it really wasn't working. It was very off and on. Then I decided to take an athletic approach, all in. And for me, that worked. That was my thing. From then on, I spoke to God for most of my hour walk. First was asking for prayers for people, but then I remembered Pastor Rick's words about being thankful, and I took this to heart. I start every walk with thanks for the weather, no matter what it is. I can find some kind of joy in the rain, the wind, the snow, seeing it in a different light this time. I'm thankful for my health, for having another day to make a difference. I began to look forward to my walks and my time with the Lord, and it didn't matter how cold it was. I bundled up and I went, and that hour walk around the reservoir was probably the greatest thing I could ever do for myself. I felt a peace I had never known. I started finding more and more time to be with God. In the line at the grocery store, stopped in traffic. No matter where I was, if I had a couple extra minutes, I started filling my brain with talking to the Lord, rather than filling it with the distractions of the world. All these moments provided time with the Lord and were not inconveniences anymore. When they found the lump in my breast, I truly can't explain how calm I felt inside. Everybody had talked to me, and I just said, I'm okay, and I really was. Going through that entire process, I just trusted the Lord, and I gave everything over to him in my daily talks, which, by the way, became a lot more frequent. I never asked why me, but I felt truly blessed that it was caught early, and I had the best possible outcome. Each day, I start with finding joy in whatever it is I have been tasked with. It can be getting up and holding Haley and seeing that smile. There isn't anything better than that. There's so much joy in the small things around us that if we only stop and take the time to see them. Time spent with the Lord strengthens our faith. Our fear gets extinguished sooner. It builds our armor. We can rejoice that when we go through trials and problems, that the Lord will help us build endurance, strengthen our character, and our hope of salvation. A friend of mine recently wrote this letter that she shared on her moment of her daily prayer walk. And I find this interesting because I think everybody's prayer walk is going to be different. And how you do it, it doesn't really matter. It's just that you get in and do it. She wrote, very early this morning, I got up to pray. I heard a sermon after the first commandment. It was a message about making God a priority. My first thought when I read this is, I think our pastors probably stand up here and think we aren't really hearing what they're saying. But boy, those words come back and hit you wherever you are, and God's working through our pastor to send us that message whenever you needed it. I needed it, and she was getting it that morning. About making God a priority. I was sure I was, but this morning I asked, and I heard nothing in response until I started walking. Every song playing in her headset, and I find it interesting that music, for so many people, is the relationship, is the link to the Lord. That some people don't know how to do it in other ways, but they use the music, and that link brings us and the Lord closer together. She walked by these particular trees every day, and she heard cling to me, and she kept walking. The second I saw a tree a little way down the path in her spirit, she heard cling completely, not halfway. And it wasn't particularly a nice tree. It was like a tree that just all of a sudden caught her attention. And she thought about surrendering everything. Lay it all out, I can see it, but I want to offer it to you. I will make you whole. And these are the words that she heard. Whether it was on her iPod, I don't know what she was saying. But as she walked, she saw leaves, and most of the leaves were turned down, but some were turned up. And she said she wants to be like the leaves facing upward, extending my arms heavenward, focusing on the Lord and clinging to His promises. I can see everything in your heart, he said to her, even the places you keep trying so personal. She knows that God was there with him. She looked heavenward, and she wants to center her life on Him entirely and serve only Him. She said, I guess I got my answer, and there's work to do. I'm ready to go. So I thought that was very interesting that she had shared that not soon after I started writing these down. Here's some things that I learned. Don't let problems of the world consume you. It's easy to focus on the bad things, but focus on the Lord instead. Look for the benefits, even if they're small ones. Blessings do not need to be huge. Most small blessings are the best ones. Don't listen to yourself. Listen for God's voice instead. Spend time with the Bible in prayer and in praise songs. Don't blame. Sing God praises instead. Praise God for who He is and who He will be in our lives. God is always faithful and will keep His promises. Hope is everything. It reminded me of the story about Jeremiah, who was faced with horrible things happening, and yet he saw great blessings because he had turned to God. God blesses people in hardships, using those times to teach us, strengthen us, and allow us to turn to Him. We need to continue to take time to hear God's voice, to seek His word. Every small change leads to sustainable results. Those sustainable results will last us forever and lead us to our salvation. All we need to do is be still and know that He is God.